There are people throughout the world that have interesting stories to tell. Stories of heroism, acts of kindness, near-death experiences, successes, and failures. You usually hear of these stories from people that live in another state or country. But what about the stories from within your own community? Everyone has a story to tell. And by everyone, we mean your neighbor, your coworker, the person behind you at church, people you interact with on a daily basis, or maybe even you. Welcome to the DTB Podcast, presented by Bless Your Heart Nonprofit Corporation. I'm Jeray Jean-Bonjaro, standing in for Brennan Mathern. I'll be your host as we speak with some of the most interesting people on Bayou Lafourche. Farming and agriculture have been a way of life for Cajuns along Bayou Lafourche since our ancestors settled here. All of us have heard stories of our ancestors, friends, and family members who have made a living off of the land. From trapping, sugarcane farming, trawling, commercial fishing, or oyster harvesting. The entrepreneurial spirit is another common theme throughout our Cajun heritage. So we are thrilled that a local farming family is here with us today. Joining us is Bryce Cheramie and Megan Guidry Cheramie of Cutoff, owners and farm hands at Cheramie Farms. Guys, welcome.
Thanks for having us.
Thanks.
So at the beginning of every podcast, we ask the same question. Who are you? Who are your parents? Where are you from? Who's your mama and papa?
Megan Cheramie, mom and dad are Tiva and Vincent Guidry. Her dad was Roland Falgu. He had the tugboats. My dad's mom and dad is Mary and Douglas Guidry.
And so where were you raised?
In La Rose.
Okay. And Bryce?
Yeah, so I'm Bryce Cheramie. My parents are Ressie and Tate Cheramie. My dad's parents were Manny Cheramie and Kathy Cheramie. And my mom's parents are Jerry and Karen Curall, who raised me from 8 years old.
Awesome. And where were you raised?
Till I was 8, I was in the Galliano Golden Meadow area. And then I moved to Cutoff, and I've been in Cutoff ever since.
A reformed bulldog.
Oh, yeah.
So we are so excited about Cheramie Farms. Being a customer of Cheramie Farms, I actually had y'all at my children's birthday party this last year, which was a huge celebration post-COVID. I want to know, how did Cheramie Farms start? Like, how did y'all come up with this idea?
Well, so Megan's grandpa always loved animals, and she grew up around it. As far as me, I wouldn't necessarily say I grew up around farm animals, but I grew up hunting them and and enjoyed that, and always enjoyed animals just to begin with. So we started with 2 goats and 4 chickens, and just as pets. And when we bought all of our property, it expanded from there. We really focused on really wanting to be able to work for ourselves, have that kind of freedom, and be able to make an impact, especially to kids on the bayou. It's not every day you can go to a petting zoo like we offer,
right.
And learn about the animals that we have. On the way here, we were researching what kind of feed you need to be feeding certain animals, and just give a lot of insight and knowledge on animals, especially for children who want to pursue this kind of life, and
Just give the kids something to do. We have nothing down here.
Right.
I've been telling her, we've been together 11 years now, if I'm not mistaken, and I've been telling her since day one, I want to work for myself. I don't know what I want to do yet.
Right.
But whatever I enjoy doing, that's what I want to do.
Right.
And I have off the wall ideas. I mean, I wanted to open up like the swamp in Houma. Mm-hmm. I wanted to do something like that down here.
Yeah.
So we just have a lot of ideas that we want to do, and we think we found the farm is what's going to be our thing.
It's funny you say that, because when I started, when we initially started Bless Your Heart, I kept telling my mom for probably 6 months. I would drive home from court, and I would go to pick up my kids, and I would always tell her, I feel like God wants me to do something. but I just don't know what it is. And it was like this yearning. And it's like when Bless Your Heart happened, it was almost like this familiarity. Like I knew that this was what he wanted me to do. So it like is really encouraging to see like two young people in our community, two parents of young children who kind of like, you know, like don't let life happen to you and kind of like make life happen. And so it's very encouraging, and I'm really, really excited that y'all are here. I want to know the most important question about Cheramie Farms is, who are the members? Who are the animals?
So every animal on our farm except for the chickens and the ducks have names.
Really?
And I'm going to start it, but I won't be able to finish it. So Megan will remember the rest of the names.
Yeah, it's all named me or Mason.
So our newest one, we have the one and only kangaroo south of 90. we have a baby kangaroo. His name is Cash.
With a
Cash
K.
the kangaroo with a K.
Awesome.
And we just acquired a miniature donkey. His name's Joe, named after Joe Burrow. So then we have Freckles, 30-year-old miniature horse.
He's a rescue.
We rescued him out of another state that he wasn't doing well, and we brought him back to life.
That's amazing.
And you seen him at a party our party.
Absolutely.
He was there.
Yeah, that was Natalie's favorite.
And then we have miniature cows. We have Anna. We have Angel, and we have Ferdinand.
Awesome.
Obviously, our 5-year-old names most of them. We have
15 goats.
Yeah.
Wow.
The stud being Sam. He was our original goat. Our first goat we ever bought. He's still with us, and he's going to live and die on the farm. He won't ever go nowhere. And then, we've got
Solomon, the sheep.
Yeah, we just bought a sheep. He's very nice. He's gentle. Mason did his debut at the rodeo riding a sheep, so Mason, that's our practice for that. And we've got Jack, Jill, Izzy. I mean, we've got names for everything.
A ton of them.
Yeah.
We can't forget George.
We've got George.
Our 400-pound pig that thinks he's a
seven.
dog.
Well, now he's 8 years old, and he's never spent a night outside. But now he lives outside with he was another rescue.
Yeah.
We took him in, and he enjoys our other pigs. We've got Charlie and Piglet. So
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So tell me what it's like seeing your children like on the farm. Like, is that, you know, I live in a residential neighborhood, you know, and when I get home, we take baths and do all that stuff. But like, what is it like raising a family on a farm?
We are never inside.
Yeah.
Never.
Like,
I mean, they are dirty the minute they are outside. You know, they enjoy.
Baylor's one, and he wasn't walking, and Megan caught him the other day eating goat poop.
Oh,
You know,
Baylor, what's in your mouth?
it's just part of it. You know,
I mean, that's good for his immune system.
He cries, chick, 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 chick. He wants to go outside all the time. Mason, you know, he's learning responsibilities.
Yeah.
Mason will go.
How
Mason's
old is
5.
Mason?
He's
okay.
5.
And he'll go out and feed his animals and do everything.
Yeah,
You know, and
that's awesome.
and I like.
It's a blessing. It is.
Yeah.
I guess, and everyone parents different, but I feel like I like to give him some responsibilities that he can handle, and let him accomplish those often, and I'm not trying to put our kids to work, you know, but a little bit of responsibility get him far in life, even if there's nothing else that we teach him. So
Right, absolutely.
So I like for him to be able to make some of his own decisions, and Megan will agree. We give him options. If you want to do something now, you can do it now or later, but you're gonna do it, you know. And I mean, it's what I enjoy the most is we talk about different stuff, and he says, Dad, if we can't find no food at the store, we got meat chickens. We can eat them any day. You know, so he's
prepared.
He's all farm boy. He likes it, and he enjoys hunting and fishing just like I do, and he's into sports just like I was, and.
That's awesome.
You know.
That's awesome. I know. I definitely think it's important, you know, whether you raise on a farm or you live in a residential neighborhood, like teaching your children responsibility at a young age, I just think is so important because you know, on the flip side, representing, you know, and going to court and seeing these people, there's so many kids and adults who don't know how to take responsibility.
Never really had any direction, though, in their defense, too. You
right.
know what I mean?
No, absolutely, absolutely. But I think, if we can instill that in our kids and they can, try to, be good examples for friends.
Sure.
And
just try our best.
Right. So I want to know, so y'all live on a farm. I know that y'all do birthday party, petting zoos, but I want, just explain what do y'all offer? What are the different facets of Cheramie Farms?
So we breed goats. We have Nigerian dwarf goats for sale. We sell our eggs. We're getting into the meat chicken business. Should be partnering up with a local farm too. We do birthday parties at the farm or at your home. We started our annual craft shows with local vendors.
Which is to support local companies. That's the biggest thing, and that's what's really dying down here is local business. People moving out, people don't really know what they can do for a business.
Right.
And our craft show, our last one was very successful. Lots of people were there. Lots of vendors had a lot of success, and I don't know. It's hard. It's hard to say. It gives a lot of people
an
opportunity, and maybe even a voice. We want to invite local companies. We want that for people. We want
everyone to succeed.
We want to put people on the map.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think with COVID,
we
all were just so stuck at home.
It was just so great.
I mean, we went to that first craft show and we were selling some of our Lafourche, our home T-shirts, just to people in the public because we had extra after our uniform drive. And we made a lot of money, with the nonprofit. And we were actually able to give some to some families that I can tell were there for the free event, but also they walked around the craft booths and maybe couldn't afford. So we ended up, we gave out free blankets and we gave out some free T-shirts. And the most important thing that happened at the craft event is that my son witnessed the birth of a goat.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm sure he had many questions.
Our first event at our farm for the public, and we have an
I'm like, of course,
goats.
Ruby, you had to go into labor right now.
He still talks about it. So, it was
funny.
life-changing.
Yeah, he's at his new home doing good now.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. We also do school field trips. You can book with us or we can go to school. I also do any special needs centers, like the center down the Bahia. I do VAL school. Anyone that would want to bring family members that has special needs, we are totally for that. We do church events. The same, you come to the farm or we go to you.
That's awesome. It's definitely not anything that is available down here.
Right.
I just think it's an awesome idea.
And
they make my day. They might be happy about the animals, but they make my day.
Well, and I want to ask about that. What, owning the farm, raising your kids at the farm, being able to host these events, but what has it been like seeing, the kids or, the families being able to spend time with each other? What has that been like?
It just warms my heart. I'm just a big giver, and for people to come and spend time with us, and that I get to put on a smile on their face because of our animals, it makes me happy.
That's awesome.
And especially at our craft show, and almost any other event that we put on, whether it's Farm Day, the craft show, whatever.
Everyone needed that.
Yeah, and people come find me that I don't even know, and they say that they had a blast, and I said, I'm glad you did. I didn't see you there, but I'm glad you did, and
people reach out and just say that we're doing great things in the community, and that in itself just makes me so happy.
That's awesome. So I definitely knew that about y'all, and what probably most people don't know, and I'll say it, is that after the hurricane, we, were hosting different supply drives and all different kinds of things on the bayou to help out the devastation. And without hesitation, the two of you volunteered your equipment, vehicles, time when y'all should have been probably fixing your own farm.
She told me that most of the time. She said, we're helping everybody, but look at this place. But we got it, though.
No, and so we had just countless flights that were coming into the Galeana airport. And, if it wasn't for y'all really stepping up to be able to haul supplies to us, we really just would have been in a bind. And so that's honestly, like, part of why I advocated for us to be able to meet with y'all on this podcast, because I feel like the community just really doesn't even know the stuff that y'all do behind the scenes, you know, that, like, y'all don't ask for, notoriety for it. But, I mean, I think it's important to know that, like, people who are leaders of our community, like, you know, they have integrity in public, but they have integrity in private as well. So I just want to thank y'all for that.
And we wish we could have did more.
Yeah, we appreciate that.
Yeah.
We always try to help anyone in need, anyone. I don't care who you are. You need something, you come find us.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And that's our biggest problem, to be honest. We do
too much.
We do more for other people than what we do for ourselves.
But I tell them all the time, I'm gonna do what God wants me to do, and they have to answer to Him.
Right, absolutely.
Oftentimes, we've both gotta ground ourselves and say, "Hey, we need to get together, just us two. We need to go somewhere.
Right.
We need, so." We found a good happy medium.
Right.
Our next available weekend that we don't have anything to do is in the end of September. So it keeps us busy, and we figured out a way to stay connected.
Yeah, that's important. That's definitely important. I was telling Megan not long ago, I was in court, and this lady comes up to me and she was like, "You had Cheramie forms at your kid's birthday party. Oh my God, I have them scheduled at the end of May." And I'm like thinking to myself, I don't really know who this lady is,
but okay. Cool.
Yeah, I know. I'm so happy. We had a great time. So I want to ask, are there any, I know y'all mentioned a few, but are there any, like, funny form stories that y'all have that y'all can think of that are podcast appropriate? Besides the goat giving birth at the craft event?
Right. At the basketball team party we had at the end of the year, our Gold Wins the Labor had twins out in the woods. Our coaches, our teammates' mom came help us get the babies all wet, running back to the house. Oh, we got them.
And then me and Mason playing outside, and I slip in a big old cow patty, and I fell in it.
Awesome.
So, form life.
Awesome.
Every day is something.
It's always something. Between Mason comes with off the wall stuff. He's funny. He's awesome.
He's starting to ask questions of what's going on sometimes.
Right.
So I'm like, maybe later.
Yeah. Right. So tell me I know you talked about it a little bit, but I want you to elaborate. What are, like, the future plans of Cheramie Forms?
I'll give you some plans, and then I'll give you some dreams, because we have a few ideas that we really want, although we don't know how to go about doing it.
Absolutely.
So in the near future, and coming up here tomorrow, we made a deal with J.D. Guidry's farm. He's more of a farm to table than we are a petting zoo. Mm-hmm. We've got plenty of property that can be utilized that isn't being right now. So we signed a deal with him. We're going to raise between 200 and 300 meat chickens a week.
Wow.
It's going to be 100% organic meat chickens, fed nothing but free-range grass. These chickens are going to be free-range and free-range feed. We're going to supply to restaurants in New Orleans. We also want to supply to everyone local on the bayou and anyone else few and far between. Mm-hmm. So we want to be able to provide that to anyone who needs it, and that's exactly what we're doing. That's in the upcoming future. Our first shipment of chickens ships tomorrow, so it'll take 6 weeks for them to be ready to be processed, but in 6 weeks you can be on the lookout for that, and we'll have them. We just recently, we had a shed, my personal shed, that we are tearing down and building one 4 times the size of it, so we can host birthday parties at our house on the farm. Mm-hmm. You'll have your own little pavilion. You have everything to do your
outside
birthday
kitchen.
Party. Yeah, outside kitchen, bathroom, everything is available there. Mm-hmm. So that's upcoming middle of June, maybe towards the end of the month. As far as any more future plans, I think that's where we're at. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Am I missing anything?
Any new animals?
So we
for sure.
We're
happy wife.
Yeah.
Happy.
We're looking to get some alpacas. Mm-hmm. we wanted a male and a female. And then this is how we learn about animals. We dive into it, and then we realize what we need to do. So we wanted a male and a female to be able to breed them, have babies, but you can't. You've got to have 3 of each. So yeah, so the male cannot be with the female 24 hours a day. So you can't do that. You can't have 2 of them together because they're going to fight too much. So you need 3. So it's just research and stuff like that gives us the opportunity to be able to learn what we need to do.
Right, absolutely.
You know? We want to know what everyone else wants to see. What kind of animals?
So we got the kangaroo, right? We got a kangaroo. We eventually would like to get a female kangaroo, be able to breed them and do that.
So I saw he visited school.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
He's going to be visiting Community Bible
Community
here
Bible's
soon.
next. For their vacation Bible school.
Awesome.
I really want to get some peacocks.
Yeah?
We forgot to mention the campground petting zoos.
Yeah, that's in the future too. So we went to Cajun Palms this weekend, and Cash the kangaroo is still on a bottle. So we've got to give him a bottle in the morning and at night, and he had to come camping with us. Well, we had 400 visitors from the campground seeing the kangaroo, you know. So as much as we wanted to relax,
Not relaxed.
it was okay. Everybody enjoyed it, and it was worth it. A lot of people loved it. We got business doing it. We got people who booked us for petting zoos. So, and then we didn't really pay much attention to it. But then the GM of Cajun Palms came find us and said, "Hey, in September we want you to come for the weekend and do a petting zoo for the whole campground." So they booked us to do that. And then I don't know how, but today a campground in Morgan City called me and said, "Hey, we heard you did a petting zoo at Cajun Palms. We want you to do one here."
That's awesome.
So the goal is to get 6 campgrounds, like as a vendor list, you know, to have six locations, and we can do that twice a year.
Yeah.
At each location. That way we're doing one campground a month, and doing those things will really get us where we want to be.
Right, absolutely.
So that's currently what the future is holding for us as far as Black and White goes. But I say our dreams, but it may be more of my dream than it is Megan's. I want to be able to actually have a business that people come to, and I interact with people every day. So as you know, Rouse is closed on the front road. I call it the front road on LA1.
Right.
The only other grocery store that's on LA1 or anything remotely close besides on the 4-lane is the IGA.
Right.
And a dream that I have is to be able to open up a grocery store, just a mom and pop shop.
Yeah.
Be able to. So I mentioned that we are currently starting to be able to have more meat, chickens, and organic food. And I would like to utilize our property to even have a garden and be able to offer organic meat, organic vegetables, that kind of stuff, along with your everyday groceries, you know. Right. But I'd like to be able to offer as much from down the bayou as possible, you know.
Yeah.
And that's something that is a dream of mine, but we don't know how to bring it to the next level. So
right. Well, we definitely have a person that you can talk to, because we did a podcast with Mr. David LaBeouf of Frank's Supermarket.
Oh yeah.
And he explained how his dad got started, and it was a very interesting story, and he just kind of emphasized on how much people in South Louisiana don't like chain grocery stores. Exactly. And how they want to know their grocer, and they want their grocer to know them, and so
where it comes from,
right? And where their food comes from.
I mean, you can look at IGA,
right? Absolutely. So I think it's awesome that y'all, are even interested in doing that. I think that's an amazing idea.
Partnering up with local farmers for the meat and everything like that. We can't provide, but we can get it here locally.
Right, and I find that there's a huge push in the most recent years, probably the last 10 years, with
people wanting to know where their food
comes from, and organic, wanting to eat cleaner, and
for sure.
We have so many health ailments here.
And you see everyone talks about how chain grocery store foods and other groceries are just pumped with stuff that don't really even need to be in it. So
I have no idea.
Processed foods and I look at it both ways as where your food's coming from, and you also, while you're getting your food somewhere, you're also providing multiple families a way to get their own food too.
Absolutely.
You're putting food in other people's mouths also.
Yeah.
Supporting local.
Right.
And every chance we get, that's what we do.
That's awesome. Yeah, I love that. That's amazing. Especially like trying to foster that interest with kids in, gardening and learn. We always have a box garden every year, and as something as silly as a bell pepper, like my kids love to check the garden with my husband every afternoon, and go pick the cucumber. And honestly, they probably have never tried a cucumber, but for the fact that we grew one,
proud,
right?
Mason, he's never even eaten, and I don't even think I've done it. He's never eaten a chardon.
Right.
But he says, Dad, we got to go get them chardons, cut them. We're going to put them in some vinegar, a little bit of salt and pepper. I said, Mason, you never even had that. How do you even know? But it's part of it,
Yeah.
And
his old papa friends are telling him the recipe.
You, he's funny.
Oh, yeah, he's
funny. Yeah.
That is so cute. So tell me about I know that Cheramie Forms is one huge aspect of y'all's lives, but I understand and I know just from kind of being friends with y'all, that's not the only thing y'all are involved in. So tell me, what else do y'all do? Bryce, you talked about having a 9-to-5 job. Megan, I know that you mom all day and form all day.
Yes, ma'am.
What else do y'all have going on?
So Megan is the definition of a full-time former. She's out there every day, every chance she has while I'm at work. She's momming too. She's doing her thing, being a mom, and while I'm at work, I work for Crosby in the dredging department. I work in operations. I used to work offshore for Chevron, and when Baylor was born, and Mason called me and told me he's willing to sell all of his toys so I can come home from offshore. That's when I knew it was time to come home. And even though I probably work more days in a year, I'm home at the same time as him, and it doesn't matter if I see him for an hour, as long as I'm tucking him in bed at night. That's what it's about.
Absolutely. And so tell me about, I know that this last year we were so excited to finally have extracurricular activities come back, and I know that Bless Your Heart nonprofit had partnered with Cheramie's Forms to sponsor the T-ball team, and I understand that the both of you were kind of donating your time to just get that all put together. Tell us a little bit about that.
So after the storm, everything was wiped out, and if I'm not mistaken, a T-ball and a baseball league in Raceland was the closest thing for anyone down here to play T-ball or baseball, and our little boy plays baseball or T-ball, and to be honest, we didn't have time to be driving back and forth to Raceland 3 and 4 times a day, a week, and I said, you know what, I think it's best if we try to do something as far as T-ball goes. Well, we reached out to the president of the T-ball league. She told us that she had too much going on from the storm, and she was kind of T-balled out, if you will. She had been doing it for as long as I can remember.
Right.
And I said, look, as busy as we are, I'm willing to take that responsibility. And she said, look, you're going to have headaches. Are you sure it's worth it? And I said, we want to be able to give at least the T-ball community something to do, something to look forward to, because, I mean, that's where it starts, right? If your kids don't play T-ball, they may not want to play baseball after, but if they're starting young and they play, you never know where that'll lead to. So
just something for them to do. So.
Yeah, we had nothing down here. We even... At first, the Civic Center told us we couldn't have games there, so we were going to have the games at our house. So we were gonna make it work.
We cashed the kangaroo.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah. So
Petting zoo, T-ball.
yeah, we practiced at our house with the teams. We bought new equipment. Every day for the last 8 weeks, we went put out the bases for the games, and we went pick up the bases for the games every day, Monday through Thursday. Wow. So that in itself, it doesn't seem like much, but when you're not playing a game, you don't have to go to the field.
Right.
But we were there every day.
It honestly was very encouraging. I mean, letting the kids play t-ball is good, and half of them are laying on the grass and running around and not, they hit the ball and they chase the ball and don't go to first base, and but it was just so encouraging to see people again,
Right.
see
just
and
the smallest of t-ball, just to see smiles from everybody.
Right. And then to also see we talk to our friends and our family, and it's how did you make out of the storm? And just to hear that other people are going through the same struggles that we are, and not just seeing them on social media, seeing them face to face. I think we lose the value in that, and we, as bless your heart, we recognized through all of this how important extracurricular activities were for our kids, and how much our kids really have missed out the last few years of not being able to participate in that. So, I mean, on behalf of, me and my family, who I can talk for, but I mean, thank y'all for doing that, because without y'all doing that, I just don't think we would have had a t-ball season. The past president did an excellent job, but she, like everybody else, had so much going on. Mm-hmm. But I think it was a good opportunity. I mean, so every game, my son bragged that he hit the ball over the bridge. Yeah. I'm like, you really didn't, funny. But I'll let you say that.
Yeah, let him think that, Mom.
But it was good. It was a good turnout. We had no issues, and that is a big thanks to the coaches and the parents. We were warned beforehand. They said you're going to have an issue every week. Mm-hmm. And we did our best to make sure everybody was satisfied, everybody was set up, and everything was good. I mean,
we made it known, if there is an issue, we have to know. Right. Come to us.
Yeah, if there's a problem and you go tell your friends about it, but you don't come tell us who can change it. We can't fix what we don't know.
Absolutely. I think everybody was just so happy to be.
It was a good turnout. They had.
It was beautiful chaos.
Oh, absolutely.
It was organized chaos.
Yes, it was hilarious.
Absolutely.
But I mean, you had parents, and I mean, there was vehicles everywhere parked watching the game. So it was. Almost every game was a good turnout.
Oh, yeah. A lot of mamons and papas and
everybody got out.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
And we were fortunate to not have any bad weather. We had to reschedule one day.
Right.
And everything went good. And next year, Mason's not playing t-ball, but we're still going to do it. We're still gonna be in charge of the t-ball, Independent T-Ball Association. Mm-hmm. I am trying to move forward and sit on the board with the Civic Center.
That's awesome.
And do those kind of things.
Yeah, I think we need to encourage more young people that it's our turn and our opportunity to sit on those recreation boards and Civic Center boards, and really kind of not that they have bad ideas, but kind of provide a new perspective. Yeah, that's the perfect word. It's easy to sit behind your keyboard and complain. But my brother and I and the rest of our board, we are doers. You have a problem, identify a problem, but find a solution. So I love that y'all identified that problem and provided a solution. I think that's great.
It's awesome that you say that, because another thing that I want to do is, I would like to consider myself a huge child advocate, if you will.
Right.
So, I mean, children, that's our future, and that always will be. Mm-hmm. And which is like what you said about sitting on the boards at certain things, and so another thing that I want to do is be able to sit on the school board for the Foos Parish. I'd like to run and do that, just because. And I'm one of those parents right now that you don't feel like maybe your voice isn't heard, mm-hmm. or is it might be just disregarded, mm-hmm. and I guess I just want to. I don't even know how to say it. I just want to do what's right for our children.
Right.
And have our children's interests at at heart.
Right.
And that's why that's something that I want to do. So I'd like to be able to sit on recreational boards and something that's sports and public boards and,
right.
and that kind of stuff. And every time I have an off the wall idea, Megan just says, I'll support you, and we're gonna figure it out. So
that's funny because that's exactly how we are. We come up with this crazy idea and we're like, let's go with it.
She's like, if you can figure out how to do it, we're gonna do it.
My brother's famous last words are, shoot for the stars.
Right? Why not?
Why not?
So now it's time for our rapid fire questions. You can give us a one-word answer or expand on your answer if you feel like you need to explain. It's up to you. So, are you ready?
Sure.
So, what is your go-to order at a down the bayou restaurant?
Shrimp po' boy.
Bryce?
I'm getting a...
Megan, any specific restaurant is your favorite shrimp po' boy?
Cheramie's.
You might be partial to Cheramie's.
Right.
That's a good choice.
My go-to order is a shrimp lovers from the Leeville restaurant that ain't here no more.
Oh,
Yeah.
That's my favorite. I have always
Bryce,
ordered that.
Yeah, we're gonna pour one out on that.
And always did.
That's a good choice.
Luckily, though, the same people who own Leeville restaurant own Cheramie's.
Do they have shrimp lovers on
yes,
their
they
menu?
do, and it is the same thing. So,
well, I'm gonna need to go there and order that. I didn't even realize.
So I'm gonna call it the Leeville restaurant, but Cheramie's does offer the same thing, and Cheramie's is part of my family. So
okay,
yeah,
awesome.
We might be partial.
A little bit.
Can't forget your grilled shrimp from Mama Joe's though.
Right.
That is a good. That's
grilled chicken too.
So, what is your favorite Cajun word or phrase and its meaning?
Probably sha.
Sha.
Yeah.
I'm going with Dogri and the Point.
So what's happening in Dogrita? That's your favorite word.
So when I was a kid, my nickname was always Pistol. My dad always called me Pistol. Well, my two boys are Dogri.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I always call Mason that, and he says the same thing. He says it back. He's funny about it. And then the Point is, everyone knows the Point, but
right.
we lease 1,500 acres of hunting property in the Point.
Okay.
So whenever people think of the Point,
they
right, they know that a lot of people know that we got some hunting land back there, and Mason enjoys just saying that word. That we're gonna go hunting in the Point. The Point de Saucisse.
I'm like, yeah, Mason.
So for our listeners who do not know the location of Dogri, it would be the area between Cheniere and Fouchon, and then the Point would be the end of 308.
Yeah,
right.
The Point of the Sausage. That's where the sausage truck used to stop.
Yankee Canal.
Yeah, that's it. So, but yeah, the Dogri comes from the duck. That's where I got it from. Whenever we would go hunting and we shoot some Dogris, Mason, I'd always come home with a couple of Dogris, and he enjoyed that. That was funny.
So number 3, what is your favorite Snowball flavor?
Cherry from Missy Lane's.
Amen, sis.
Coconut with condensed milk from Missy Lane's.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely the top.
Honestly, anything from Missy Lane.
She is the best.
If we're just being honest.
Her birthday's in 2 days. We can't forget about that. Shout out Missy
so
Lane.
happy birthday, Missy Lane.
We love you.
So next hurricane, are you staying or evacuating?
Leaving. Never staying.
I guess it just depends on what it is. A bad one like Ida, no, not worth it. It's not worth putting the kids through, or Megan. But in the same sense, things were so bad down here that we didn't even know if we were coming back to our property, our own property. We didn't know if people were stealing stuff.
Right.
And so in my head, if I'm a single guy with no kids, I'm staying to protect my property.
Yeah.
But your interest is not always
right.
Whenever you married with kids. So we'll probably leave. Whatever. Happy wife, happy life, right?
And the kids need Wi-Fi, let's face it.
Right.
Well, ours just need their farm animals, but we're good.
Okay, so our last rapid fire question, jambalaya or pastalaya?
Jambalaya, because I don't like pastalaya.
Megan?
Jambalaya.
So my question is red or brown?
Gotta be brown.
Yeah.
Brown?
Gotta be.
And you're from Cutoff?
Gotta be a brown jambalaya. To be honest, I don't even know the last time I ate a red jambalaya.
Yeah, my papa always made a red jambalaya.
I had it when I was a kid.
With shrimp.
I like a brown jambalaya, though.
Yeah?
And not the kind you make in the rice pot, either. I like a good homemade one.
A good one.
Yeah.
So we would like to thank Megan and Bryce for visiting with us this evening. That'll do it for this episode of the DTB Podcast. Thanks to our producer, Ross Jambon, our executive producers, Jure Jaro and Hillary Crum, and the rest of the Bless Your Heart nonprofit board members, Luke Newman and Chris Brantley. Be sure to follow and subscribe to the DTB Podcast on Facebook, Apple, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can also get more content by following us on Twitter and TikTok at the DTB Podcast. I'm Jure Jaro. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time.